What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys some stocks to watch this upcoming week. So we're going to go into the second week of November trading, and you guys are probably wondering, oh, why is this being uploaded earlier than usual or whatever? Reason being, I think I'll give you guys the whole of Sunday to get some research done, to look into these stocks yourself, to maybe drop in the comments some other stocks you'd like me to look at going ahead into this week. But before we get into today's video, I'd like to say, make sure you guys do drop a thumbs up on this video. But not only that, please do comment. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know some stocks you guys are watching this week. Let me know if you're in the Discord or if you're looking forward to this week. Whatever it may be, just drop it in the comment section below. Also, if you're new around here, please do hit the red button below and subscribe to the channel, or above, wherever the red button is. If you're on mobile or laptop, doesn't matter. Please hit the red button and subscribe to the channel. It does help me grow the channel. It does help the YouTube algorithm, help me find other people who could potentially watch these videos. And also, lastly, another thing which helps is sharing these videos. So please share these videos with your friends, because they might be looking for some stocks to watch this week. Share them with people who just want to learn a bit more about stocks. Share these videos just for the sake of sharing them. But let's dive into today's video. So like I mentioned, I've got about 6 or 7 different stocks to watch this upcoming week. But I'd like to say, unfortunately, on this video, there's going to be no stocks which are involved in any kind of short squeezes, being shorted, any of that kind of stuff. So a lot of these are more or less volatile stocks which you can watch for plays this week, plays over the month of November, also that you can actually just buy and hold long term. But I'll tell you which stocks to watch for which things in just a second. The last thing I'd like to say before I start talking about these stocks is, this is not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. So please don't go and buy any of these stocks just because I said so. These are ideas, things that I use, things I might be looking for, but none of this is financial advice. But without further ado, let's dive into the fun stuff now. So the first stock I'm going to give you guys today is Disney, ticker symbol DIS. This had a pretty strong week. It was up almost 5% on the week. It's been steadily climbing. And what really caught my eye with Disney was the fact that yesterday, or Thursday till Friday, it jumped from about $169 up to $174 at open and hit highs of $176 during the day. Now, a couple of things which are influencing this stock's movement right now and also could help it potentially run up this week are earnings, which is on the 10th of November, and also they're releasing an NFT project on the 12th of November. So in anticipation of the earnings run up and the strong earnings, Disney has been moving. Again, earnings is going to be on the 10th, and on the 12th they are announcing their NFT project VEVE, so you guys can go check that one out. But if you look over the past decade, 2 decades, Disney stock has something very interesting, and that is the fact that during November it seems to hit all-time highs. And during November, it seems to run pretty strong, which is kind of what we've already started seeing this week within the first week of November already. So keep your eyes out for Disney's movement this coming week. I'll be looking for the $180 calls for next Friday, maybe potentially for November 19th as well. But I'll definitely keep my eyes on it to see how it opens during the week. Next up, we're going to go with Beyond Meat, ticker symbol BYND. This had an interesting week. It started the week below $100 before getting over $100 and running up to $107. But then Friday, it sold off almost 3%, dropped about 2.88%, and ended the week under $99. So if you zoom out on this chart, look at the past 3 months, maybe even look at the past month, honestly, you'll see that Beyond Meat has a long way to recover. I would say my price target for this one, the first one is around $118, second one being around $130. Because just 3 months ago, just in August, it was actually at $130. The stock obviously announced that they expected a decline in revenue, which I've told you guys about 3 or 4 times now, which kind of tanked the stocks in their run into earnings. So once that sold off, I saw there was potential recovery. It dropped to around $91, and it did manage to rally up to $107 this week. But again, it sold off Friday and it's back under the $100 mark. So I'll be looking at the call options for this one. I'd say $108, $110 calls, most likely for December. If you want to be a bit more risky, you might place it a bit more short term, but that's what I'm looking at. Either way, buying and selling shares long term now, I do like Beyond Meat for that. But there is also a different company in the same sector as Beyond Meat when it comes to plant-based foods. And I'm sure you guys know of the Tattooed Chef, but we're not going to be talking about that in this video. But I'm a huge fan of that. Now, they're not exactly direct rivals or so, or competitors, but I'm just highlighting that if you want to buy shares of a plant-based food company, it doesn't have to be Beyond Meat, but Beyond Meat is one of the options. So at this price point, under $100, I would definitely look at buying it for long-term hold. Next, I'm going to go with Visa, ticker symbol V. So I know a lot of people were making money off this one yesterday, and also from swings from Thursday to Friday. So what happened was it jumped from about $208 to around $217 yesterday. And it's a similar situation to Disney. It kind of just jumped overnight. But it's been strong recently, and I believe this trend will continue. You can also look at how the stock performs Monday, Tuesday before you decide what you want to do. But if it pulls back, it was definitely going to catch my eye. If it continues to run, I might say, you know what, I'll wait till it cools off a bit. But I just wanted to put Visa out there for you guys to have a look at, to see how it's been performing recently. I think it's kind of slipping under the radar, as that kind of sector doesn't really get talked about as much as an actual financial sector, you know, with banking sector, or maybe EV plays or tech plays, or even, you know, whatever. Obviously the short squeeze stocks, it doesn't get talked about as much as that. But please do keep Visa on your watch list, on your radar for this upcoming week. Now, speaking of EVs, I briefly mentioned EVs there. Let's talk about Tesla, because I'm looking at Tesla next week, but now for puts. So today, Elon Musk tweeted out, and he did a poll on whether he should sell 10% of his Tesla shares, which is around, it might be 20 million or 200 million, but either way, that's all irrelevant. The point here is, he's obviously put this tweet out to cause a stir, and what's most likely going to happen is people are going to tell him to sell those shares, and it's probably what he's going to do. So if he does do that, expect the stock to drop on Monday. Even if he doesn't do that, because of what's already happened with this tweet, with the fact that he's willing to do this to, I guess, avoid certain taxes or to gain some kind of ground somewhere. So obviously he's done this so he can kind of, not finesse, but, you know, work his way around taxes. Also, he's done this because he likes to obviously gain attention from the public and also show that he is in control of things. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm looking at the puts, the $1,200 puts for this Friday, I'd say, maybe even lower than that, because Tesla is a stock that can move 30, 40 bucks in a day, up or down. So please look at Tesla, just because the movement is going to be pretty erratic, I think, at open. I feel like you're going to get a lot of people selling their shares because they're uncertain. When a CEO of a company does something like this, you're going to get those people who are like, you know what, I don't want anything to do with this. News does affect stocks, and this kind of news is most likely to affect the stock in a negative way. Next up, ZNGA Inc., ticker symbol ZNGA. So this stock has been selling off over the past week. It's been selling off over the past month even. But it does have a nice gap up to around $8. So towards the end of towards the end of yesterday's trading, it did start to make some movement, start to uptrend. But actually it sold off 2% on the day. I think this is a stock which has potential. Again, that gap up, that gap fill towards $8 level. But it's going to be a little bit of a slower mover. So I might look for the November 26 calls with this one, $8, just to make sure that we give enough time to become in the money. I think by next Friday or so, if it's continuing downtrending, then I'm going to just completely forget about it, ignore it. But as it is right now, if it can do something similar as it did towards the end of yesterday's trading day, then it's definitely going to catch my eye Monday, Tuesday, well, next week overall. CHWY, ticker symbol CHWY. I've been mentioning this in probably 1 out of 2 videos since about 6 or 7 weeks ago, but it's still on my radar. It's still a stock to watch this week, and it's still a stock you can continue to play. It sold off heavily yesterday. It had a bad end to the week after having a pretty strong week, but it's no longer at the $60 level. It's now in the $70 level and it's trending there comfortably. Now, it just broke a support around $74 yesterday, and I think the next support is around just above $70 and I guess 30 cents, somewhere along the line, somewhere around there. But CHWY is an excellent long play. Excellent. I mean, $80, $90, I believe it's going to hit that within a couple months. I believe CHWY is one of those stocks which is so heavily oversold right now. I mean, there's a few of them right now. You've got CHWY, you've got Zillow. I'm going to put CHWY in there as well. I think it's really oversold right now. And CHWY is one of those stocks that can start moving, can start jumping up 3-4% in one day. And when it does that, well, I'll be looking at the $80 calls for next week Friday, maybe the $80 calls for the 19th or 26th of November as well, just to give myself enough time. But depending on the stock movement next week, if it does have a very strong start to the week, I'll start looking at the call options, the $80 call options for Friday. I don't want to talk too much about CHWY because I seem to talk about it in, again, pretty much 1 every 2 videos, or at least 2 every 3 videos. But it's one of my top stocks to watch next week. It is one of my top stocks to watch. It's sitting at a nice price point. I don't believe it's going to fall heavily below the resistance it's already dropped below. I think it's going to be one of those where it just climbs back up pretty quickly. And after that big sell-off Friday, I think we're at a nice price point now We've got that advantage from it selling off if we're not already in it, of course. So CHWY is definitely on my radar for next week. And lastly but not least, a firm ticker symbol AFRM. This stock has been monstrous over the past few days, over the past week, over the past month. It's now in the $160 range. It's been one of those stocks that just kind of keeps rallying. I think UPST had a similar pattern to this for a while, and now AFRM is in a similar situation. So here, I'm trying to play the earnings run up because they are announcing earnings soon. I don't know the exact date, but they're announcing earnings soon. And in the run up to earnings, you guys probably know from my style of trading, I do like to play the call options. But what do I also like to do? Sell those call options before the earnings are announced. So once the earnings are announced and the stock happens to sell off, let's say it does, I would definitely be looking at the AFRM calls again. It depends how far the stock falls, how heavy it drops off, because as you guys have probably seen in the past couple of weeks with earnings plays, a lot of these stocks can just drop off heavily and then it can be 15, 20, 30% in a few days. So with AFRM, I'll look to see how it performs after the earnings before making more call options. But of course, before the earnings, in anticipation of earnings, in the earnings run up, I'll also be looking for the call options. But I'm not going to be looking at the puts when earnings are announced in that period of time. I'm not going to try and play earnings because a stock like AFRM could also just continue rising. So those puts are not really on my radar in case you're wondering. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was something different for you guys. Well, I say something different. It was similar to my old videos. Let me know what you guys like. Let me know what you guys think about the stocks. Of course, in the Discord, there's going to be the main watch list for this week with more breakdowns, reasons I'm looking at what calls, what puts, what swing trades, what day trades, all that good stuff. Also, make sure you guys check out the stock option starter pack. That is a nice course for you guys to check out. It's 10 videos long, 3 hours long. It's got 3 different sections on all different factors you need to look out for when you're looking at options. It breaks down call options, put options. It breaks down options in total just for you guys who are starting out, just for you guys who have been trading or need help with trading. So please go check that out. I also talk about my trading strategies, common trading strategies, and a few different other things in there. So please go check that out. Lastly but not least, make sure you guys show support to all different things I've got in the links in the description below. I've also got my smartwatches, timing watches, so check that out as well. We'll see you guys next time for another video. And again, have a good weekend. Peace.
Game over.